Hello and welcome to Jimmy and Jake's USL adventure. This is episode 10. Jimmy has actually injured himself playing soccer. We wanted to wait until today to record to allow us to cover yesterday's games, Wednesday's games, depends on when you're watching this. Unfortunately, Jimmy got hurt playing tonight, so he is laid up. So you have me and you have Bella, and we are ready to cover some soccer. This is going to be mainly a Western Conference show because I did not take any notes on the Eastern Conference because that's Jimmy's job. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to cover my games the way I usually would, and then I'll give you guys a brief description of what's going on in the Eastern Conference. We could talk about still do player of the week and stuff like that, and then I might have something fun for you guys at the end of this episode. So if you see the video sort of stop and start, it's because I'm pausing and I'm doing this by myself. So do not hold it against me. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. And at least I don't look like a fool by not knowing the answer to how's your touch. So we're going to head to Lexington. They welcomed Tampa Bay Rowdies to town for a mid-off. The two worst teams in both conferences going at it, and they end up drawing 1-1. 46% of the ball for Lexington, 14 shots, 4 on target for Lexington, 8 shots, 1 on target for Tampa. Just happens to be the 4. 359 passes for Lexington and 463 for Tampa. Goals in the 31st minute for Lexington. Forster Ajago back from his suspension from that ridiculous meltdown where he kind of kicked at someone's face at a corner flag over a possible foul. Just total meltdown from the guy. But he's back and he scores. And then on the 62nd minute, Manuel Ortega scores for Tampa off a corner kick. So the storyline is short corners and what we think about them, or I guess just what I think about them. Jimmy and I have talked about the struggles of these two clubs enough, so we're going to talk tactics right now. In the case of this corner, it was actually really, really well done. Leo Fernandez starts the corner, and he kind of gently taps it to Ali Bassett, who just kind of flicks it backwards as Fernandez rolls around behind him. And then he ends up crossing it into just an unmarked Ortega who scores the tying goal. So I guess maybe I could leave it up to you guys, some engagement. You guys could leave it in the comments or leave it at Substack, wherever you want. Do you prefer short corners or long corners? I think I'm sort of biased because I play Sunday League, and there's absolutely no reason at our skill level to be taking short corners. It just doesn't make sense. Just get that thing into the mixer and see what happens. This one kind of worked the same way as pretty much a normal corner. Maybe it was just used as like a confusion type thing because he still crossed it, but maybe from a better angle. In my mind, just sending the ball into the mixer always seems like a better idea to me than trying to get too fancy, or as some pundits have put it, utter woke nonsense. So briefly, Jimmy's Detroit City FC ends up losing 1-3 to Charleston Battery when they come to town. Cal Jennings is a goal scoring machine. He gets another 2 goals in this one. Just a ridiculous season from him. Charleston is starting to look just unbeatable. That's 3 in a row with a 10 goals for, 2 goals against. Just a ridiculous juggernaut at this point. Charleston's going to be very, very scary in a very top-heavy Eastern Conference. So we're going to head to Orange County next. They get a 3-1 win over the visiting Colorado Switchbacks. Orange County held the ball for 41%. Colorado for 59%. 11 shots, 5 on target for OC, 7-2 for Colorado, 222 passes for Orange County, and 348 for Colorado Switchbacks. So goals, 29th minute for Orange County, Chris Hegart. 61st minute for OC, Cameron Dunbar. 66th minute, Anthony Fontana gets a goal back for Colorado. And in the 90 plus third or plus three, Muhammadu War comes on as a sub and scores an absolute fucking banger. If you have a chance to go watch this goal, go watch it. It is superb. Fantastic goal. So, storyline, Orange County can't finish. I guess it's kind of silly, you know, when you think about it, 3-1 over Colorado Switchbacks, defending champions, but still, I'll give you guys some stats. Goals per match, 1.3. That's 13th in the league. Shots on target per match is 4.8. That's 4th in the league. So they're getting shots off. They're just not getting them into the net. Big chances missed, 17, which is 1st in the league. So, like I said, they're getting there with the attack. They're getting their shots off. It's just not working out. So this combined with an average defense and mistakes, they have 3 pens conceded for 2nd in the league, and they have 1.7 goals conceded, which is 20th in the league. So you got to finish your chances. They definitely did today or on this game. But hopefully this is going to be a trend for them from here on out. If they can start finishing, they're going to be really, really good. So next game in the East Coast, Rhode Island FC welcomes Bob Lilly and them boys. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, game ends 1-0 for Pittsburgh. Griffin scoring in the 37th minute. Rhode Island is a team I kind of wanted to root for. A friend of mine from the Army, Mike Reel, shout out if you ever listen to this thing. He's from Rhode Island, so a bit of a soft spot for them. Kind of having a pretty much bang average season, 6 on the table, 12 points. They were in the finals last, so maybe it's hangover or maybe it's something else. We'll see. So next game in the Western Conference, Oakland welcomes New Mexico United to the Coliseum and gets dusted. New Mexico ends up winning this game 3-0. 47% of the ball for Oakland, 53% for New Mexico. 9 shots, 4 on target for Oakland. 10 shots, 5 on target for New Mexico. 366 passes for Oakland, 427 for New Mexico United. Chris Gloucester for New Mexico scores in the 3rd minute. Zico Bailey in the 6th minute and 90th minute. Mukwale Akale ends up scoring in the 90th minute. That first goal, that 3rd minute goal, Chris Gloucester, this was going to be a WWJD moment. Just a really, really weird sort of glitch moment for the keeper, Rafael Spiegel. He sees the ball and it's rolling. It appears to like roll on the ground, like slowly towards him, and he goes to like kick it and just completely like whiffs and does like a sort of like it looks like a Scooby-Doo run almost, where it's both his feet kind of move and the ball goes under him and he falls on his ass. So not quite sure what happened there on that goal, but New Mexico, like I said last week, they're just a boa constrictor. They're going to get their goals. They're going to choke you out, and it's nuts how good they are. So the storyline that I want to talk about, we're going to talk about El Paso Locomotive tangentially. So you can't accuse me of being too biased on this one because I am going to sing the praises of New Mexico United as well. A Derby del Camino race for first. New Mexico United has 10 matches, 21 points. El Paso has 11 matches, 19 points. They're currently 1-2 in the Eastern Conference. You want your rivals to be good. It's no fun if they're a punching bag, no matter what anyone says. Like, you want the matches to mean something. You want the wins to mean something. And then in the case of this, like this race for first in the West is going to be fun. There's potential for a meetup in the playoffs, which would be fun. I believe we have 1-0 record against them in the playoffs. They've never beat us there, and we beat them once. So, you know, like in the end, I could risk feeling like my guts have been torn out if they end up beating us in the playoffs to go to the finals or whatever. But I'm willing to risk that for the joy that I could potentially feel. And that's what's great about these rivalries. And that's why you want your rival to be good. So shout out to New Mexico United. You guys are really, really good. And I still fucking hate you. So the next game in the East Coast is Miami FC welcomes Birmingham Legion to town. Miami actually gets the first goal. Bonfiglio stays hot of scoring in the 48th minute for Birmingham, and Ronaldo Damas ends up scoring for Birmingham in the 74th minute to get the win. Birmingham wins the game 2-1, and Miami FC loses their first match in 5 matches. So they were on a bit of a hot streak. That includes a Jägermeister Cup match as well, though. All right, so a game I got to watch on my birthday. I turned 36 years old. I'm an old man. Turned 36 years old on May 24th. So this was a fantastic birthday gift. El Paso Locomotive was in Las Vegas to face the Lights and beat them 2-1. So 35% of the ball for Las Vegas, 65% for El Paso. 9 shots, 2 on target for Las Vegas. 21 shots, 7 on target for El Paso. 237 passes to El Paso's 500 passes. So Las Vegas starts off the scoring with a goal in the 7th minute from Johnny Rodriguez. And my boy, Andy Cabrera, answers back in the 37th minute and wins it in the 64th minute. He is on fire. 11 matches, 9 goals, 2 assists. You guys have heard me talk about this guy nonstop. But he is, if you guys have been listening to the pod for a while, he has passed the threshold for me to get his jersey. He now has 11 goal involvements in 11 matches, which is nuts. For if you know anything about Locomotive, you know that's nuts. So El Paso looking like they're going to make the playoffs if they continue to play the way they are. So I will be purchasing or getting one of my jerseys screened with the number 13 and Cabrera on the back. So the storyline, Las Vegas's offense is exhausting their defense. So Las Vegas has 1.4 goals conceded per match. That's 12th in the league. And 6 clean sheets, which is tied for first in the league. 2.1 saves per match, 18th. To Jimmy's point about Raiko Arozarena, the Las Vegas goalkeeper, not necessarily being one of the top keepers. It might be more about his defense in front of him, and that appears true with these stats. He's not facing a lot of shots, and he's not having to make a lot of saves. But you can see in the games where they're losing, he's giving up a lot of goals on low-level shots on target. So he's struggling when he's been called upon. So all that seems good, though, for the defense in front of him. But you have 34.6 accurate long balls per match, which is first. 290 passes per match, which is 15th. 3 shots on target per match, which is 22nd. And 0.6 goals per match, which is 24th. So if you guys remember me talking about Lexington's issues, this is sort of a similar issue where Las Vegas is getting the ball up the field, but unfortunately they're not getting a lot of shots off, and they're definitely not scoring a lot of goals. So Las Vegas is going to have to figure that out if they want to start improving the offense, like I said, letting the defense down in Las Vegas. All right. So the next one, this was a interconference match. Monterey Bay welcomes Louisville City to town and loses 2-0. Louisville City gets goals from Tosh and Perez in the 21st and 49th minute. Monterey Bay is on a downward slope, struggling as of late. Only 1 win in their last 5 matches. So 1 win, 2 losses, 2 draws. So not looking good for a team that Jimmy and I were really, really high on to start this season. Hopefully they can figure it out. They have a lot of talent. We're both really, really high on Elijah Paul and his abilities. So we'll see if Monterey Bay is able to figure it out. So the next match we're going to talk about in the Western Conference is San Antonio FC welcomes Tulsa to town. They end up drawing 1-1. 61% of the ball for San Antonio, 39% of the ball for Tulsa, 11 shots and 1 on target for San Antonio, 16 and 5 for Tulsa, 306 passes to Tulsa's 159. Tulsa is no bullshit, just direct. Both the goals were penalties, and if you ask me, both of them were kind of flops. But I like that there's no VAR, so I'm not going to argue too much, but ref, pay attention a little bit more. So the storyline we're going to talk about, the defensive mind of Luke Spencer, the manager for Tulsa FC, is a former forward. He was a champion with Louisville City in 17 and 18. So it's kind of crazy how defensively sound his team is for someone, who's an offensive-minded player. Playing in a 3-4-3, where all 3 center backs are willing to move around and fill gaps. Like, to watch these guys play defense, I mean, you guys have heard me on this pod before talk about this stuff. These guys, whenever there's a gap, whenever there's a space, someone comes in and fills it. The back 3 of Tulsa is really, really good about being in the right place and noticing when one of their line mates moves up, moves back, moves away, goes to lock onto someone else. They find the open space and they cover it. Really, really, really good team defense. So really good. Yeah, like I said, really good team defending, and they use counterattack. They counterattacked in a way that is extremely direct. Like you see in this game, 159 passes, right? These guys are getting it out wide, and then they're getting it into the box very, very quickly. So 0.8 goals conceded per match. That's second in the league. 4 clean sheets. That's third. 1.9 saves per match. That's 22nd. So they're not allowing shots. These guys are really, really good about getting the ball and stopping the ball. 200.1 passes per match. That's 24th. So like I said, extremely direct. 5 accurate crosses per match, 5th. You have, the wide mids or wingbacks or however you want to refer to them in this team. Balls to them, ball goes up, goes to one of the 2 wingers, ball gets crossed in. 4.1 shots on target is good for 11. So get the ball down the field, get the ball into the box, get the shots off. Guys like Taylor Calhera are perfect for this team because that guy's super fast and he latches onto shit, sort of in the way that, to bring it back to El Paso, Amando Moreno is really good at that. Like, he's a smaller guy, but he's super fast and he's got really good control, can latch onto these long balls. I really, really enjoy watching Tulsa play just from a defensive aspect. They are super, super good about team defending. If you have a chance to watch them, check it out. Really, really enjoy what I've seen from them. So the next game I'm going to cover, or we can talk about, an East Coast game. Indy 11 4, Hartford Athletic 4. Ridiculous game. I didn't get a chance to watch this one live. Phil Bakke of Seriously Loco, and I believe he does work for the USL show. Shout out Phil. El Paso Locomotive fan, runs the Locomotive podcast. He was talking about it on Blue Sky, saying that this game was bonkers. I've watched a little bit of the official highlights, and yeah, man, like 8 goals in one game, especially for Hartford Athletic, who isn't known for their goal scoring prowess. I believe they have I think they had 5 in their last 4, something like that. And one of those games was against the League One side in the Jägermeister Cup. So getting 4 by Hartford is a little bit tough. But yeah, that's wild. So we're going to finish up in the Western Conference. The sixth game in the Western Conference. Good Lord. And the final game of the week, it finished up on Wednesday night. Las Vegas ends up losing their second match in less than a week as they lose to Phoenix. Phoenix comes to town, wins 1-0. 56% of the ball for Las Vegas, 46% for Phoenix. 20 shots, 5 on target. Las Vegas, 5 and 1 for Phoenix. 310 passes from Las Vegas to Phoenix's 247. So you got the goal in the 24th minute, Noble Okello, a Canadian. Shout out to Jimmy, everyone's favorite Canadian. It's a crazy backwards bent over header off an indirect free kick. Like he kind of like jumps with his back to the goal and he kind of like leans over. So his ass is just going up in the air. And then his head, the back of his head, looks at the back of his head, just bops this ball and they end up scoring. So huge match for Patrick Rakowski, big German, 5 saves and a blocked PK in stoppage time. Shouted out, ball don't lie. And I don't think he did. No, he didn't. Storyline. Phoenix is heating up. 3 wins in a row. 2-1 versus New Mexico. 2-0 versus Monterey Bay. 1-0 versus Las Vegas Lights. 5-1 goal differential. Or 5 goals with 1 against for a 4-goal differential. Quick maths. Every goal in that winning streak was scored by someone different. And 11 players on this team have scored this season, which is crazy. Like everyone is scoring for Phoenix. They're very unselfish with who's getting these goals. If they start to heat up, Phoenix is always a pain in the ass team offensively. They're always a threat to score, or they have been in the past. And it's scaring the crap out of me. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this segment of the show up with the Canardo Forbes Player of the Week. And like, I know you guys are going to hate me for this, but who else can it be? Another 2 goals for my boy. It's just ridiculous, the heater that he's on. Deserves a lot of credit for Locomotive success. There's a lot of other players that are deserving. Cal Jennings, obviously, with another brace. But just like the positions this guy's putting himself in, Andy Cabrera, putting himself in amazing positions. He is just a insanely talented scorer. So we're going to wrap this segment up. If you just see this part, it means that I wasn't able to work out the next part. And if you do see the next segment, then enjoy. All right, I convinced her to do it. Ignore my crazy hair because I don't have my headphones on right now. So I'm going to be interviewing my favorite human being on the planet, my wife, Coral Ratana Kennedy. She is attending the Jägermeister Cup match with me this Saturday. We're going to.
It's a maybe.
Well, I already bought the tickets. You're going. So my first question is, do you know what the Jägermeister Cup is?
Like the liquor?
Well, you know what Jägermeister is. Do you know what the Jägermeister Cup is?
Yeah, it's a cup for people that drink liquor. That's soccer players that drink liquor. I don't know.
It's the USL League Cup. So it's a tournament in the USL.
Oh.
So that's what match we're going to go watch. We're going to go watch Colorado Switchbacks come to town, and we currently have 1 point in the competition.
Mm-hmm.
We have an overtime, 2 points in the competition. I'm sorry. We have an overtime win over Texoma. So I'm going to ask you some questions as well to see how much you've been paying attention to, number 1, Locomotive, and number 2, your husband's podcast.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I just kind of let it play in the background so that you can get the views.
Get those views any way you can, baby. Like and subscribe.
I play it for the dogs. I leave it on for the dogs.
The dogs are big fans of me, too.
They are.
Bella appears on the pod, and they get all excited. Who is El Paso Locomotive's leading scorer this season?
I don't know. I don't even know like a single name. Raul.
Okay. Actually, you know what? We're gonna do it like this. Name a Locomotive player from the past?
Hugo? No. Who do they chant? Like they chant for somebody like that. Like Raul? Hugo? No?
No.
Not even close?
Mm-hmm.
It's a Mexican name.
Josue?
No, the guy that they're always chanting for.
Well, they chanted for Josue.
Oh, okay, that doesn't even sound familiar. There's like no way I would have figured that one out.
Okay.
Sorry, I told you I wasn't good for this.
Okay. The whole point of this mainly was to show, because one of the things I saw over the week was in MLS, San Diego and Los Angeles Galaxy fans fighting in the stands. And I just want people to know, like, it's fun to be into this stuff, but to a large swath of people, this doesn't mean shit, and you just look like idiots. So don't do that. Also, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up with a few more questions.
Wait.
What?
We're not going to talk about the fighting? That sounds more interesting than the other questions.
Okay, we can talk about fighting. We can talk about the time New Mexico came to town and we lost, and I was really, really mad. And you kept telling me, "Oh, you're overreacting. Why do you act like that?
Well,
Why you act
because
like that?"
you were doing it inside the stadium.
And then the minute we got out, Coral, who no matter what sport it is, she's a UTEP minor, and she hates New Mexico State. And I've never seen her.
I don't hate New Mexico State. The fans are very annoying. They really are, and I'll give you that. They are very annoying.
What do you think of New Mexico United fans?
They're assholes. I mean, they are. I think that's like a given. You know, they come to town and they start, talking shit. I mean, can I curse? I don't even know.
Yes, you can.
Oh, okay. They start shit, and then when you throw it back at them, they don't like it. So they're big babies and they're assholes.
How many times have we beat New Mexico this year?
2.
Yes. Okay, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up.
Don't fight.
Yeah, don't fight. It's
but
dumb.
You can talk shit.
Yes.
Talking shit is fun. I think that's what the whole thing is about, right? Like you want to talk shit and all that, but just don't let it get to that point where you have to go to jail or give your team a bad name.
Yeah. And then also, like I was mentioning earlier in the podcast, because Jimmy wasn't here, so we didn't do a We Play 2 segment. But I just want everyone to know that during or right before my birthday, or maybe it was on my birthday, my wife promised to come watch me play for like the first time in like years. So we'll have an update of that, and maybe I'll have her get some footage. It'll probably just be selfies. or her and her nephew.
To my defense, I used to play roller derby, and I never invited him because I always figured that's my thing. And it's like, why would I put him through the pain of watching, 2 hours of me just going around in circles? So I don't go to his games because they're boring, but they are. Sorry, I'm very honest. I'll try. I didn't say I would. I said I'm going to try to go. And the only reason, like I said, I don't go is because I get bored and then I get antsy and then I'm like, when is this over? And then it's never over, or it feels like it's never over, but I'm going to try.
To be fair, she wasn't going in circles for 2 hours. She was going in circles for 1 hour, and the other hour was spent in the penalty box.
Yeah, so don't fight like me. I mean, to be fair, roller derby was a contact sport. Soccer is not a contact sport.
I don't know. I had some kid like swing an elbow at me the other day.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be. You see, that's another reason why I don't want to go, because when you guys either start to lose or the other team gets annoying, I start getting really angry, and it's really hard for me to control my anger. So then I start getting mean. And
the Mexican fan comes out.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. So we'll wrap it up with this story. Coral does not. I would say that her interest in sports is maybe 2 out of 10. So
no, wait. You gotta take that back.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get into the WNBA because I want to support my girls, any girls.
Oh, WNBA's been good.
I actually favored it on the Peacock app, and I've been trying to keep up with WNBA.
You can watch it on Prime too, but we can talk about that after.
Oh.
Oh God.
I think that's Mexi.
Yeah. So like Coral's interest in sports has been wavering throughout our relationship, but
it was. I used to love sports. It's just I got turned off because of all the politics in it and all the you know,
there are still things that get her riled up, and a lot of it involves either New Mexico rivalries.
Stop.
Or
I work in New Mexico. You're gonna get me in trouble.
Or U.S. Mexico relations. Coral was born in Mexico, in Juarez, and
Mexico.
When we first figured out that both of us like soccer, I remember one time she came and picked me up because I was a broke ass junior enlisted soldier, and Mexico had just beaten the U.S. And when I opened the door, there was a Chicharito Mexico jersey strewn across the chair, and I remember getting so mad about it. We've had parties at the house before, U.S. Mexico parties. I'm decked out, 1994 World Cup windbreaker with the American flag draped over me. And I remember everyone at this party was Mexican American, and everybody was laughing at me by the end of the game. I went and hid in the room. But yeah, so lessons, don't fight. And
if you're gonna fight, at least beat them. Like, good. If you're gonna do it, might as well. Don't, but if you are, make sure you're not the loser.
Don't fight or win is what Coral's saying. So I hope you guys enjoyed this part. Kind of wanted to show you. I do have a better half, and she doesn't want to come watch me play soccer. So we'll go ahead and wrap the episode up here. Anything you want to say in closing?
Foster, don't adopt. Look at this little munchkin.
Foster, don't adopt.
Oh, God. Foster and adopt.
Yes. Adopt, don't shop.
Yeah, adopt, don't shop. Because look what you can end up with. This cutie right here.
That barks all the time.
Yeah, she does. But she's cute.
She's my little views magnet. All right, y'all. And once again, I'll finish it up with how I finish every show. Go play soccer.